Hello friend and welcome back to my channel, Blue Nose Trading. My name is Tori Solis and today I'm going to be testing Black Walnut from Mayco Stoneware Glaze Collection. I'll be testing this glaze on 7 different clay body test tiles as well as on a textured white stoneware mug. This is a cone 6 glaze that is lead-free, non-toxic, and listed by the manufacturer as dinnerware safe. I also brought a cat inside, so I will introduce you to Miss Mittens. She is full tortitude and does basically whatever she wants, so I'm sure we'll be seeing more of her on this channel. I like to test glazes on a lot of different clay bodies to get a general idea of how a glaze is going to behave on different colors or surfaces. Everyone out there is working with a different kind of clay, and maybe one of these tiles can help you guess at what might happen for you. As always, I strongly recommend that you make your own test tiles in your own kiln. Fire your tiles exactly how you would file your normal work. There are a lot of different factors that go into how a glaze is going to turn out. The best way to see how a glaze is going to work in your kiln, on your clay, and with your own application is to do your own testing. Before I open this glaze, I'm going to make sure it's thoroughly mixed. I like to give it a good shake, but my favorite way to make sure a glaze is well mixed is to use my drill with an egg beater attachment. After mixing, it's a good idea to poke around at the bottom of the jar to make sure there isn't any mineral clumped up down there. Sometimes I forget this step, but it's honestly better if I don't. I'm going to be brushing glaze onto my test tiles. I brush my tiles in 1, 2, and 3 coats with the thickest coat at the top of the tile. I fire my tiles hanging on a high alumina rod to see how the glaze will perform on a vertical surface. In this way, I'm testing for running. With the thickest coat of glaze at the top of the tile, if a glaze is going to run, it has somewhere to go. I would strongly encourage you to do your own tests with your own clay body in your own kiln before you commit to anything too important. It's just good practice. But if you want to live dangerously, you do you. Glaze dangerously and boldly accept any consequences. I'm here for it. I too make impatient choices from time to time, and sometimes it works out fine, and sometimes I ruin a kiln shelf. It's the risk we choose to run or not. Looking at this textured white stoneware mug, this glaze has a smooth, warm, buttery brown that breaks nicely over textures. In thicker areas, the brown develops a semi-matte silver sheen. In the thinnest areas, the glaze breaks to a warm orange brown. This is a very pleasing effect over texture. I did end up with a bubble that did not smooth out in the groove where the handle meets the mug. This is an area where the glaze can pool up extra thick. I'm fairly certain I can refire that little blister out though. On this white stoneware test tile, you can see more clearly how in thick areas of smooth application you get a silvery coating over the brown. The surface is semi-matte satin, one of my favorites. The results on Laguna B-Mix are the same satin matte brown with silver haze. This glaze is most interesting when applied over heavily textured surfaces, and it looks kind of bland on my untextured tiles. Laguna Frost Cone 6 porcelain tile almost looks like this glaze might want to have additional surface effects. The silver seems to pool and glitter slightly on this tile. I'd be interested in seeing how this glaze performs on larger pieces of textured porcelain work. This glaze is very dense, and it's able to near completely mute the speckles in my speckled clay body. The surface looks exactly like it did on the white stoneware clay. The speckles in Laguna Speckle Buff end up being mostly muted as well. They do shine through very slightly as more metallic flecks in the silver surface, but the effect is very subtle. When applied to my red stoneware, the surface is slightly more metallic than it was on lighter stoneware. Overall though, the color and satin surface are fairly consistent across clay bodies. This glaze fits on Laguna B3. The effect is a dark brown satin matte that has a slight silver metallic sheen. All around, this is a satin matte brown that's aptly named Black Walnut. I definitely get Black Walnut vibes from this glaze. It fits every clay body I tested here today, and it looks especially interesting when applied over heavily textured surfaces. Overall, another wonderful glaze that I'm sure you can find success with. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I hope you enjoyed learning more about this glaze and can make use of this information in your own studio. If you'd like to help support my channel so I can get more glazes to test for you, consider becoming a supporter of my channel right here on YouTube. If you'd like to see all the ceramics I currently have available for sale, you can visit my website, bluenosetrading.com. If you want to stick around for more art videos, be sure to subscribe to this channel, Blue Nose Trading. Thank you so much for being here until the end of the video. Remember that you have great ideas that are worth exploring, drink enough water, and I will see y'all in the next video.